Against Bowling Green, off campus in the big city. We welcome you to Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Wisconsin Badgers take on the Bowling Green Falcons in the season opener for both clubs. Hi, everybody. Wayne Larrabee along with Chris Martin. Great to have you with us for this college football opener. A little bit different, Chris. We're off campus in the big house the Browns play in, and the kids are excited about the NFL facility.
Oh, they're juiced up. It's the opener. It's Cleveland Browns Stadium. Rematch of last year. These kids are pumped up and ready to go.
Yeah, last year these two teams combined for almost 100 points between them. One veteran from that game is John Stocco, the quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers.
And for Wisconsin, it starts and stops with Stocco. He's 19-6 as a starter. He's played a lot of football games, Wayne, but the key for him tonight is to control the football, make good decisions with the ball.
Well, you're an old defensive back. You know what youth in the secondary can do one way or the other. Very young secondary for Bowling Green. Antonio Smith is the leader, and he had a big season as a freshman a year ago. He's just a sophomore.
And Smith is an absolute ball hawk. Last year he returned 2 interceptions for touchdowns. He's going to try and put the clamps on Stocco tonight. We'll see if he can get it done.
Well, they got acquainted last year in Madison. We'll see more of the same coming up here tonight. Bowling Green, Wisconsin, Cleveland rocks for the college football opener coming up next. It's a neutral site, but technically a home game for Bowling Green. Just a couple of hours to the west of Cleveland, Ohio. Last year, boy, these two teams put on quite a show in Madison in September. Omar Jacobs over the top to Steve Sanders, and that tied the game at 35 apiece. But then Brandon Booker Stanley had a 15-yard run, and Brian Calhoun, the All-America candidate, on a 9-yard touchdown run. Wisconsin took control for a 56-42 victory in Madison. And the numbers, well, the two teams combined for over 1,000 yards in the game. And take a look at some of these numbers. Jacobs, 458 yards of passing offense and 5 touchdowns. Stay tuned. The opening kickoff, the opener, Wisconsin and Bowling Green is just ahead. Tonight's ESPN Plus game is brought to you by Allstate. Are you in good hands? Welcome back to beautiful Cleveland, Ohio, on the shores of Lake Erie. And boy, has this town turned around in the last 20 years. It is a gorgeous downtown, and it turned out to be a beautiful night for college football. Wisconsin won the toss, deferred its decision to the second half. So Bowling Green will accept the opening kickoff from Taylor Milhoff. And here it is. We're underway, and a good, strong, deep kick. Vincent Corner, a true freshman, makes the grab in the end zone and is told to stay there with it. Bowling Green will take over 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Freddie Barnes, there he is, number 7, redshirt freshman, Chicago Heights, Illinois, Homewood Flossmoor High School, starting in place of Anthony Turner, who will not play this week due to a coach's suspension for an off-field situation. So Barnes gets the opportunity. He's an athlete. He's going to be a running quarterback, and they're looking forward to incorporating what he can do into their game plan. 3 receivers set to start the ball game for Bowling Green. First down to the 20. And a running play up the middle. Getting the call, Dan Macon, and he is drilled immediately by Zalewski. Middle linebacker, you'll see a lot of him. The skill position players for Bowling Green, Zach Charles, a wide receiver to keep an eye on. But Dravanak is a very good tight end. And the offensive line, this is the strength of the team, led by Corey Lichtensteiger, an All-America candidate at center. Second down and about 9. A little bit less than 9 yards to go. Just underway. Great to have you with us on this holiday weekend, the opening weekend of college football. The fake to Macon. Here comes Barnes. First down across the 35, out near the 38-yard line. 17-yard ramble right through the middle of the Wisconsin defense.
And Wayne, this is what Barnes is going to give you. He's an athletic quarterback. This is a design play. You see he gets second level, and he can do a lot of damage once he gets up on a safety.
And Chris, the thing that Wisconsin struggled with last year was defending mobile quarterbacks, running quarterbacks. This has been really an Achilles heel for this Wisconsin defense over the last couple of seasons. First down. Macon trying to cut it back, and does, and picks up a decent amount of yardage across the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at the Badgers defensively. This should be the strength of the team, a big defensive line, and they've got some depth in that defensive line as well. They'll go 6-7 deep. The linebackers can really run, led by Zalewski, who made the opening tackle from scrimmage. And then the secondary, Ike Iguanu is an all Big Ten candidate at corner. Second down. Macon again finding running room for a first down, and he bulldogs his way into Badger territory to the 49-yard line. Zalewski in on that tackle, among others.
Wayne, we're seeing a very experienced offensive line up front. You see the left guard pull, pins off the linebacker. Excellent job by Macon to get up the field. But again, you have a very experienced line for Bowling Green. They can move some bodies out of the way.
First and 10. Football in Wisconsin territory, just inside the 49. And the fake handoff. Barnes looking to the air. And he's got his man downfield for a first down, out of bounds. That's Sean Drobenak, the tight end. Stellmacher makes the hit, but a 13-yard gain to a first down to the Wisconsin 36-yard line.
Wayne, what you want to do with young quarterbacks is get them out of the pocket, do a lot of rollouts, easy throws. He gets it to Drobenak, who's a big target at 6'4", 270. Start to build some confidence with a young quarterback.
He caught 4 touchdown passes a season ago, Drobenak. And now they fake the pass, and they're running with Barnes again up the middle. This time for about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Zalewski in on that tackle.
See those big bodies up front, Wayne, clearing out the running lane for Barnes. And that's what Wisconsin's defensive line, they got to tighten up front, because what we're seeing is the quarterback Barnes is getting second level too quickly on the linebackers. The interior front for Wisconsin has to tighten up. 7th
play of the drive coming up. Barnes on a rollout on the run. A cut down by Stellmacher, short of the first down, just inside the 30 at the 29. Well, this offensive line you're talking about, Chris, like I mentioned, Lichtensteiger is 305, and then you've got the 2 guards. Mark Ray, the right guard, is an all-conference selection, and he's 350, so this line has the kind of size you're going to see week to week in the Big Ten.
They have size and athleticism, which is a rare combo for offensive linemen.
It is 3rd down. 3rd and about 3. And they're running with Pete Winovich. Winovich is one of the better football players on this team. They've used him at linebacker. They've used him all over at tight end, and now at fullback, and he gets the first down at the 25-yard line. Big fall off last year from the year before. Brett Bielema's first season as defensive coordinator was 2004. Last year, they had 5 games in which they gave up over 500 yards of offense.
It's a coach's nightmare.
Opening drive of the game, no score. The fake to Macon. Barnes roped down by Zalewski. A gain of 4. The head coach at Bowling Green, Greg Brandon, in his 4th season. 26-11, and of course, Chris, you're familiar with him. He coached a little bit at Northwestern. Did he recruit you, or at least he coached you a wide receiver?
He was my old wide receiver coach, and he has a great offensive mind. Solid coach. He's a technician, though. He wants to make sure you get it right and you're technically sound.
2nd and 6. Barnes again fakes the handoff to Mason, and Barnes a slippery start to the end zone for the touchdown. 21-yard gallop.
That'll do a lot of confidence building for a young quarterback. This is an excellent draw play. Opens up nice kick out block by your pulling guard number 73. Barnes gets it to the house. But again, a design play. Wisconsin just is not used to seeing this type of athleticism from a quarterback.
Barnes will hold for the point after by freshman Sean Ellis. He's got it through the uprights, and what a way to start for Freddie Barnes, the redshirt freshman out of Chicago Heights, Illinois. 21 yards right up the middle through the Wisconsin defense to pay dirt. That's a boost of confidence, that first drive of the ball game for Bowling Green. Freddie Barnes, what a job.
Well, Wayne, the spread offense starts up front, and the Bowling Green offensive line just dominated the Badgers up front.
Barnes, 5 rushes, 49 yards in that 10-play, 80-yard drive.
The thing is, in training camp, Wisconsin couldn't emulate this type of athleticism from a quarterback. I think their eyes are just adjusting to the speed of Barnes.
And again, Barnes is not the starting quarterback. He's the backup because the starter, Anthony Turner, being held out of this game due to a coach's suspension. But Coach Brandon told us the kids have really rallied around Freddie Barnes, and he's made great strides this fall. Here's the kickoff, a short kick from the 10-yard line. Jarvis Mitten on the return across the 25-30, and Mitten gets good field position for the Badger offense out near the 33-yard line, 23-yard return. John Stocco is the veteran quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers. Minor right knee surgery early in training camp. He missed 2 weeks and was questionable for this game right up until this morning. Now they've made the decision to go with Stocco. This is his 26th start.
And he's the guy, Wayne. He's an athletic, mobile quarterback, but he has the arm strength to make all the throws. He's got to be a leader tonight.
P.J. Hill gets the call, big running back, and he is hammered down across the 35 of the 36-yard line. The Wisconsin Badgers offensively, you saw Hill just a moment ago. Paul Hubbard is an interesting athlete, a wide receiver, great size. Up front, Joe Thomas is everybody's All-American left tackle, coming off a major knee injury in the Capital One Bowl in Orlando a season ago. Second down at about 8. Again, it's Hill. Breaks a tackle to the outside and is stormed back just short of the first down. Jarrett Sanderson made the tackle along with Kenny Lewis. Bowling Green defense, Devon Parks is the leader up front. This is an undersized defensive line. The linebackers run very well. Lauren Hargrove is getting a start at outside linebacker. He's a former safety. And the secondary we spoke of in the open, very young, led by Antonio Smith. Already an accomplished cornerback in his sophomore year. Third down and 2 for Wisconsin. Stocco to the air. Got his man out of bounds. That's the tight end, Andy Crooks, the junior out of Wausau, Wisconsin. P.J. Mahone angled him out. First down for the Badgers at their 48.
Wayne, what I like here is Crooks did a nice job of pushing this route to the sticks to get the first down. But for Wisconsin, the key for tonight, Wayne, is to establish the line of scrimmage. And they average over 300 pounds on the front line. Bowling Green has a small interior line. They got to move some guys around.
And P.J. Hill's a big back, Chris, at 5'11" and 245. So they ought to be able to do some pounding, there's no doubt. Stocco, deep drop going to the air. Got a man wide open. Leaping grab is made, and it's going to be a first down inside the 35-yard line. 19-yard reception, and my goodness, that's Paul Hubbard who makes the catch. He's out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. We mentioned him, 6'4". He's got great size and leaping ability, and he needed it here.
Wayne, this is about as long a throw as you can make. You could see the ball traveled quite a bit in the air. That was a long developing play. That means there's good offensive line block up front.
Brett Bielema in his first season as the head coach, taking over for the now legendary Barry Alvarez. First and 10 of the 33. Stocco to the air. Over the middle, and he turned around as receiver P.J. Hill, incomplete. We saw Bielema a moment ago. Brett is the second youngest. He was the youngest coach in Division I, Chris, for about 2 months or thereabouts until Pat Fitzgerald took over for the late Randy Walker down at Northwestern. And we'll revisit a game that you saw the other night in the cradle of coaches in Oxford, Northwestern and Miami of Ohio. Second down and 10 now for Wisconsin. 33-yard line. Bowling Green territory. Hill, nice crease up the middle. Hill pile driving, which is what he will do more often than not. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Mid portion of the defense made the stop.
Bowling Green right now, Wayne, they're sitting back in a zone defense in the secondary, probably trying to get a measurement of the speed of the receivers of Wisconsin before they try and man up.
Badgers facing another third down on this possession. 3rd and 5. Xavier Harris, the freshman at the bottom of your screen, is explosive, but Hill gets the call and gets a block to the first down and a little bit more down to the 20-yard line of Bowling Green. 8-yard run. Kenny Lewis, the defensive back, made the stop.
You're going to have a running play, you might as well go right to the side of your Outland Trophy candidate. Good block, just caved in the outside there, Wayne, leaving a running lane for P.J. Hill.
Craig Urbick made the block on the flank that opened that play. 8th play of the drive now for Wisconsin, trailing 7-0. First possession offensively for the Badgers here tonight. Stocko breaking through. Daiwan Rowan, another big back. At 240 pounds, packed on about a 5'9" frame.
When we go back to it, Joe Thomas, you see a nice kick-out block on the defensive end. But that's what he's going to give you. And watching him on film this week, Joe Thomas is a very athletic 313-pound 6'8" guy. It's almost uncanny how athletic he is. He has great knee bend, and he moves well. You
wouldn't know he's well over 300 pounds. When you see him in person, he's that well built. 2nd down and 3 off the gain of 7 by Rowan on the previous play. And again to Rowan. Following the block of Rentmeester off the left side of the line. Inside the 10, it'll be 1st and goal for Wisconsin on a steady drive. Nick Davis, the defensive lineman, made the stop for Bowling Green. So look at what Rowan did last year in part-time duty. Of course, everybody was part-time. We had Brian Calhoun back there. No one got too many touches.
Calhoun is special. But I talked to Coach Brandon, head coach of Bowling Green, before the game, and he said, look, make no mistake about it, Wisconsin is going to run the football. Power and sweeps, and we've seen that so far tonight.
Rowan already 13 yards on 2 carries, almost half the numbers he had home last year. Rowan again, 3rd time. Rowan slipped to the defender of the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown! Daiwan Rowan, senior out of Erie, Pennsylvania. He's got some friends and relatives in the stands here tonight.
Well, this whole series was going to the left. Great kick-out block. But that's poor tackling more than anything. I mean, you're getting great blocks up front from Wisconsin, but Bowling Green has to come up and wrap up the ball carrier. That was poor tackling that led to that touchdown.
Wisconsin an extra point away from getting this thing tied. Taylor Melhoff, left-footed kicker. And he's got it right down the boulevard. Well, these two teams combined for 98 points a year ago. 1 possession for each, and they've got 7 apiece on the board. We're tied in the first quarter in Cleveland. Well, Bucky, Badgers busy already. We're tied at 7 apiece. Each side has had the football. Each side is driven for a score. So the Badgers get on the board on a 7-yard touchdown run by Daiwan Rowan, capping a 10-play, 66-yard drive. Twin safeties back deep to receive this Taylor Melhoff kick. Terrell Lewis on the near side. On the far side, Vincent Cormer are back. And this one again carries into the end zone and is down, and Bowling Green will accept at the 20-yard line. While we were in a break, Antonio Smith, who is a kick returner in addition to the leading cornerback on this Bowling Green team, heading off the field, apparently shaken up, maybe heading back to looks like he's really favoring his left leg. I can only speculate as to what it might be, some kind of an ankle injury perhaps, or
maybe he rolled his ankle, but that would be a serious blow. He is the top cover corner for the Falcons.
Let's see if the Badgers can get a handle on Freddie Barnes, who tore him up on that first drive. Barnes fakes to make him. The middle he goes again. Got a first down, penalty marker down. 12-yard gain pending the outcome of the flag. Joe Stellmacher made the stop in the Wisconsin secondary. Penalty against Bowling Green for a hold, it appeared.
Wayne, Freddie Barnes looks awfully comfortable in this offense so far. He has good command of the play calling.
Number 73 on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Rebane's first down.
See the kick out. There's the hold right there.
Kevin Hulsman, guilty of the infraction that opened the hole, didn't it?
To the ground.
It took Zalewski to the ground.
Got to keep those hands inside.
All right, it's first down and 16. Barnes on the pitch, making around the end. Good play by Stellmacher to cut him off. Macon gets to the 19 at a gain of about 3.
We talked to Coach Brandon about Dan Macon. He was very fired up, his eyes lit up. He thinks he's a heck of a football player. He's got good size, 6'1", 214, but he has the speed to get to the edge. Coach Brandon said he's the fastest player on the team. They'll have a lot of touches tonight.
Bowling Green, a lot of that coming from their quarterback. Second down. Fake the handoff, Barnes, and Wisconsin beginning to key in on the quarterback. Zalewski was there once again on the tackle. He may be even spying that quarterback right now. They may have just assigned him to spy the quarterback and take care of him. We'll deal with the rest.
If you're going to have a spy, you want it to be Zalewski. He's the heart and soul of the Badger defense. He plays well sideline to sideline. Vintage Wisconsin linebacker, very athletic, and he can bring the hat with him.
3rd and 8. Barnes, a little swing pass Macon. He's got a convoy of blockers, but does he have enough room? No, he doesn't. The Badgers swarm to the football and contain the Falcons on this drive. The gain of about 4 yards. It'll be a 4th down for Bowling Green.
Got to see a quick look at the speed of the Wisconsin defense. That time they got to the little screen pass awfully quickly. What I like there when you had 6 guys around the tackle.
Well, and again, you mentioned it, the speed, and we talked about it. The linebacking core is very fast for this Wisconsin team, and also some good speed in the secondary. And we saw it with Stellmacher on 2 plays ago when he forced on a run to the outside. Alonzo Rojas, true freshman kicker out of Miami, Florida.
Interesting formation here, Wayne.
Gets his kick away, just did get it away. And it floats out of bounds in front of the Wisconsin bench. Wisconsin takes over offensively, good field position. We're tied at 70. You are watching college football on ESPN+. Chris Martin, welcome back to Cleveland. Wisconsin and Bowling Green tied at 7. Badgers on the field offensively for the 2nd time. Their last drive, we saw the power running game.
We did, Wayne. The offensive coordinator, Paul Chryst for Wisconsin, must have identified a weakness to the left side because they had 3 straight stretch plays. Kick out block here. I think the offensive line on the left side for Wisconsin, they're just dominating the defensive ends. And they're kicking them out, creating running lanes. That's why DeJuan Rowan was able to get to the house.
Well, that's Joe Thomas and Andy Kemp on the left side of that Wisconsin line. Stocko on first down to throw. Has a man open. And a first down. Into Bowling Green territory to the 41-yard line. So Stocko going to the air right away. Travis Beckham, the tight end, 16 yards downfield. P.J. Mahone made the stop.
Good blocking up front. This is what Stocko's going to give you. Nice ball there, tight spiral. That's a long throw, but again, he can make that with ease because he has a very strong arm.
A look at the numbers. John Stocko getting better each year. He has really grown into this position. From the 41, it's a first down. Blasting inside the 35-yard line. P.J. Hill, 9-yard gain, 2nd and short coming up.
Wayne, if you put the 2 conferences side by side, the Big Ten and the MAC, the biggest disparity, what you see is usually on the line play. And it's very evident tonight, the offensive line, the massive offensive line for Wisconsin, they're pushing around the D-line of Bowling Green.
Second and short, just outside the 32-yard line of Bowling Green. Hill got a first down, still on his feet, dragging defenders inside the 25-yard line. Eric Dozier was taken for about a 5-yard ride, 9-yard gain, and Wisconsin motoring in impressive fashion.
See it kick out block. The best thing here by Hill, watch him keep his legs moving. Look at the leg drive. Running through contact. Excellent job by a young back of keeping his feet moving and running through contact.
Wisconsin averaging almost 8 yards per running play. First and 10 at the 23 of Bowling Green. Hill stopped for a moment, able to change directions, breaks a tackle at the 20, inside the 15. Very close to a first down on a gain of almost 10 yards, depending on the spot of the ball. And again, you take a look at what Coach Brandon told us from Bowling Green. Said the big difference in this game is going to be our defensive line against their offensive line.
And can they tighten their screws up front? So far, Wisconsin line's dominated, but it's also been poor tackling by Bowling Green. That time, P.J. Hill's a big running back at 242 pounds. You have to wrap him up.
Wisconsin, first and 10, 13-yard line of Bowling Green. Hill hammering people. P.J. Hill is delivering the blow on these runs. Down to the 6-yard line here, second down upcoming. P.J. Mahone felt the impact of the Wisconsin redshirt freshman running back who would have played last year but suffered a broken leg in training camp last year in the summer. They basically hung a red shirt on him and welcomed him back during spring ball this year. Second down. Hill cutting it back toward the middle, swarmed under at the 5. Good penetration that time made by John Hainline and Jarrett Sanders. Hainline the linebacker and Sanders the safety. Terrell Lewis has replaced Antonio Smith at cornerback in the Bowling Green secondary. We're hoping Smith may be on his way back. Yeah, he's coming back right now from the locker room across the way.
See the ovation that he's getting. You realize what a key player he is for Bowling Green. The fans are on their feet here cheering for him.
Third and 2, Wisconsin. Daiwan Rowan diving, and he's got the first down. It depends on the spot of the ball. Had to get to the 3-yard line. I'm not sure he got there.
He went airborne. This one's going to be close. Bowling Green, though, the interior linemen, they have to get low pad level, create a surge.
Did he take off too early? No, he just got cut down early, that's all. Fourth down, less than a yard to go. The Badgers behind that big offensive line going for it. Rowan finding his way. Good second effort. Did he get there? I don't think so. The Bowling Green defense has held.
What a shot in the arm for the Bowling Green defense. Tighten up at the right time. That is a huge confidence builder. We'll see it here, Wayne. Good low pad level. Excellent job plugging the hole. Linebacker coming in to help out.
Nick Davis was the principal defender. He got there first, Chris.
He did, Wayne, and the reason he did is because he had low pad level and he got a good surge up front.
So there's Coach Greg Brandon. He's fired up right now. I think he's arguing for a more generous spot of the ball. First and 10. Football just short of the 4-yard line of Bowling Green. Macon spinning away out near the 10-yard line on the first down play, a gain of about 6 or 7 yards.
And I think it's important for us to remember that Bowling Green felt like they should have won this game last year. So they have a lot of confidence going, and we saw it in that last series when they tightened up. They said, look, we're coming to go toe-to-toe tonight.
First quarter comes to a close. Momentum in the favor of Coach Brandon and the Falcons of Bowling Green, thanks to a goal line stand by their defense on 4th and 1, and Freddie Barnes, 21-yard touchdown run. We're tied at 7 at the end of 1.
Fox 2548 is cable channel 3.
Second down for Freddie Barnes and company. 4 yards to go. Macon slips through. Hauled down close to the first down marker. That was Zalewski, who shot through like a cannon. And he makes the stop short of the first down. Are the Falcons' third down coming up? The numbers as you get a look at the All-State standings review briefly there. And here are the numbers from the first quarter. How about that? Already 219 yards of offense. These two teams combined for 1,035 yards of offense in one ball game, Chris, last year in Madison. Oh, my goodness. But so many of the major characters in that game have changed. They mark it as a first down for Bowling Green, 1st and 10. Macon trying to cut it back. Nowhere to go. Boy, I tell you, DeAndre Levy really floated the football from the linebacker spot. Number 11, there he is. Levy, a sophomore out of Milwaukee, Vincent High School.
Oh, and is exactly right. You see Levy come in. Oh. Put his face mask right on the numbers. That's a textbook tackle by Levy.
Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Barnes again to Macon, and they're waiting for him. I'll tell you what, waiting for him was Jamal Cooper, the defensive end. And another loss of yardage will make for a 3rd and long coming up. Let's take a look now at the ESPNU All-State Standings Review. All-State Standings Review we teased you with a second ago. Ohio State, impressive win today over Northern Illinois. Texas won its opener. Notre Dame playing tonight. You get a look at the rest of the top 10. 3rd down for the Falcons, 3rd and 13. Freddie Barnes deep in his own territory. Back near the 12. Fakes to Macon. Barnes looking to throw. Rainbows. Deep down the sidelines, overshot everybody, incomplete. Zach Charles, the intended receiver. Pretty good coverage on him. Down the sidelines by Roderick Rogers, the safety, along with the nickelback Shane Carter. So it is 4th down for Bowling Green.
Wayne, that time it was a stutter and go route by the receiver, Ika Guanu for Wisconsin. Great position. And when teams run double moves on you, Wayne, it's usually because their wide receivers aren't getting open on their regular cuts. Great coverage that time by Ika Guanu.
The true freshman Rojas gets it blocked. Recovered in the end zone for a touchdown. Coach Brandon was concerned about all the young players he was going to have to play.
Wayne, I really don't get this formation. I don't get it. They're spreading it out, creating lanes to run through. Casillas, who's athletic, just ran right through.
The extra point is good. Jonathan Casillas blocks the punt, recovers for a touchdown. You're listening to college football on ESPN+. Special teams playing. Chris, this is an interesting formation we're going to see right here on the punt a moment ago.
Wayne, I don't get this formation. You're spreading out your linemen, creating running lanes. So if you make one man miss, you're going to be at the punter. And there it is. Excellent job by Casillas of taking the ball off the foot. But you cannot just give a clear running path. They got to tighten up that formation.
I'm not quite sure what they were looking for there, and that was obviously something they've schemed. I mean,
well, what it does, Win, is it creates one-on-one matchups. And if you have an athletic guy like Jonathan Casillas, he beats his man one-on-one, he's already at the punter.
Twin safeties back deep. Vincent corner. Terrell Lewis to receive this kickoff. Taylor Melhoff, Wisconsin now leading it 14-7. Really going in the second quarter. Melhoff getting great leverage and distance into his kicks. It's muffed in the end zone, recovered by corner and downed. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. You know, they're using just a 1-inch tee in college football this season in order to promote more kickoff returns, so you can't as easily kick it into the end zone. But that has not, apparently that hasn't affected the game for Taylor Melhoff. He has plenty of leg to get it there, even off a 1-inch tee.
He's 3 and 4 yards deep in the end zone.
All right, Bowling Green has some work to do. They were impressive on their opening drive, going 80 yards for a touchdown. Freddie Barnes on 1st down. Barnes looking to the air. Nice throw to the sidelines at the 30-yard line. He's got a 1st down. Kenneth Brantley II on the reception. Ike Guanu on the force, and it's a gain of almost 10 yards. Let's see if they're going to give him a 1st down.
Nice rollout pass. Again, making a simple throw for Freddie Barnes. Good job of getting to the sticks. What you want to do if you're Bowling Green, again, is to continue to get Barnes easy throws. You don't necessarily want to push it down the field. You know, let him continue to grow and build confidence in this game.
Just short of the 1st down. 2nd down and less than a yard to go. Football at the 30-yard line. Barnes in an empty shotgun. Winovich in motion. Barnes on a keeper. 1st down and more. Barnes, good quickness. 35 to the 40. Collared out of bounds. And Langford makes the tackle to the 41. 12 yards downfield.
Barnes is a two-way threat. This is a design play. They called this in the huddle. The key there was a great cave-in block by number 80, Ruben Ruiz. Just pinned the linebacker. But again, Freddie Barnes, he has 67 yards rushing already. It shows you how athletic he is.
3 receivers at the top of your screen. And we've got flags all over this one before the snap.
Number 70 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
Greg Brandon pacing anxiously. Right guard may have flinched. There he is. Came up out of his stance.
Having played for Greg Brandon, I can tell you he's a disciplinarian. He wants his guys to stay in there and be smart.
1st and 15. Barnes on what looks like an option. Did not pass to the back Macon, who was trailing the play. They had nowhere to go. And the Badgers closed quickly defensively. They appear to have a little bit better handle now on Freddie Barnes of this running attack for Bowling Green.
Well, they do, Wayne, and the key again for Wisconsin is their linebackers move so well. You know, they're the speed of the defense. The Lusky and Levy and Casillas, they can play sideline to sideline, so it's hard to go laterally against these guys. You're better off running right at them.
2nd and 15. Barnes gets it away. Charles. Zach Charles collared down short of the 40-yard line. Hit hard by Jonathan Casillas. Also in on that tackle, Jamal Cooper in the neighborhood. Pick up a 4.
Wisconsin sitting in a soft zone. Basically, Wisconsin saying, we're going to give you all the underneath routes. We're going to protect the sticks, get back deep, and give you the underneath cuts. And we're going to wrap up, swarm to the ball.
3rd down. 4 receivers set. Macon alongside Barnes. Rushes on. Barnes steps up. Still looking to make a play. And then throws it away. So the Wisconsin defense contains once again. And the punting unit comes on.
It's a pretty heady play for a young quarterback, though. Barnes, instead of forcing an errant ball, throwing it out of bounds. Smart football.
Well, let's see if they tightened up the formation on this punt here. Remember, the last punt was blocked by the freshman Alonzo Rojas. His first punt was not shanked, but it wasn't a booming kick by any means either. You know, freshman jitters. This is the youngest kicking tandem in the in Division 1A. Alonzo Rojas and Sean Ellis, two true freshmen. There's that formation. Wide splits.
They don't get this. They're staying with it. You gotta stay back longer.
This time he has time to kick it away. Good looking punt. Couple of nice moves by Zach Hampton, and the Badgers will take over at their 33, leading by 7 in the second quarter. Cleveland Browns Stadium. Back in January, Barry Alvarez's final game on the sidelines at Wisconsin as head coach of the Badgers. They set him off in fitting style. Running back Brian Calhoun led the charge with 213 yards rushing as the Wisconsin Badgers upset Auburn 24-10. Even the much maligned Wisconsin defense rose to the occasion on a special win. Back to throw, Stocko rushed hard and sacked. Devon Parks, the senior out of Libertyville, Illinois, 11-yard loss. He came on late last year, and he's carrying that momentum into this season.
Well, he's the guy, Wayne, haven't watched film on him this week. He jumped out at you. He's a speed rusher. And that time, I believe he beat Joe Thomas, the Outland Trophy favorite.
Second down and long. Back near the 22. Stocko. Out of bounds. Nice catch made by Paul Hubbard, who went high in the air, but he was out of play right in front of Coach Greg Brandon and the Bowling Green Falcons. So it's third and long for Wisconsin.
Wayne, that last sack, that's major league play by Devin Parks. He beats Joe Thomas, who again gave up one sack all of last year. One sack all last year. He beats him on a speed rush. And then you'll see the last play. Hubbard pushes it on the outcut. He's 6'4", he reaches up, pulls it in.
Third down and long. Stocko, good protection. Hubbard laid out for it, pass off the mark at the midfield marker in front of the Falcon bench. Fourth down, Wisconsin. Impressive stand that began with the sack by Devon Parks.
Again, I'm blown away by that. Joe Thomas doesn't give up many sacks. He gave up one all last year. It shows you the ability of Devin Parks. Major play. Wisconsin came back with a deep comeback route. Those are long throws to make. Stocko's got the arm that he can make them, but again, they're tough to convert.
And you wonder, he's missed a lot of time in camp, missed a couple of weeks, if maybe he's still shaking off some of the rust from that layoff. The Bush with the punt. Zach Charles lets it go, takes a Wisconsin roll inside the 30. And the Badgers will down it at the Falcon 28. Second quarter in Cleveland, Badgers by 7. We welcome you back to Cleveland Browns Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie. Wisconsin and Bowling Green in the opener for both teams. Wayne Larrabee, Chris Martin, great to have you with us, our entire ESPN Plus crew. The rushing yardage, much of that for Bowling Green came on the opening drive of the ball game. Bowling Green takes over this time at the 28-yard line in Falcon territory. Dan Macon met by Mark Zalewski at the 30. Gain of 2. Boy, Zalewski flows to the ball, doesn't he? He's got a nose for it.
He does. He can smell it. He's played a lot of football. But he is what you want in a linebacker. He plays with a chip and an edge to him. I talked to a couple NFL scouts who said the best thing about him is his instincts. And Wayne, you can't teach instincts.
And it's essential if you're a linebacker. You can't play that position without instinct. Second down. Barnes faked the handoff, sets up a little bit of a screen. To the outside, the fumble. It's up for grabs and recovered by the Falcons back inside the 25-yard line. Marcus Parks fumbled the football. And then it was recovered by Vandenheuvel. I beg your pardon, Drew Nystrom made the recovery on it. Watch this play right here.
It's Jack Aikuganu coming up, putting his hand on the ball. Ball security is important. In a game like tonight, you got to wrap it up, put both arms over the football. I'm sure Coach Brandon's giving him an earful.
Now it's 3rd down and 13. 3 receivers set. Out of the shotgun once again for Freddie Barnes. It's Macon to his right. Barnes slipped. And that slip may have cost him, because arriving on the scene, Matt Shaughnessy, the sophomore out of Norwich, Connecticut, makes the tackle. And it is 4th down.
That time you'll see Wisconsin came with the heat. Stellmacher came on the end as a blitz.
That's what caused the mishap on that play. He spun out.
It's like one of my golf swings.
We've had it's a Tiger Woods wedge shot. Tiger Woods takes about that much turf on a wedge shot. It's not good for a quarterback to take that much turf on a cut. It rained most of today here. The field was uncovered earlier today, and here's the punt by Rojas, and it sails out of bounds, and the Badgers will get it in good field position to start this drive. Football will be marked up near the 47-yard line in Wisconsin territory. Well, those of you who have been around the Big Ten for a while remember Chris Martin as a tough as nails defensive back for the Northwestern Wildcats in the turnaround years of 1992 to 95.
I talked to our producer, Todd Kulis, and I told him he had to dig in the archives for those pictures.
Well, of course, Greg Brandon, went to Northwestern as a wide receiver. You came out as a defensive back. Greg Brandon coached you for 1 year and shipped you over to defense.
That's what they do with the guys who can't catch.
1st down now for the Badgers, 47-yard line, Wisconsin territory. P.J. Hill, not a lot there. And a good storm to the football, and the Falcons say they've got it on a fumble. And coming out of the pack with the football, well, the officials had whistled the play dead, was Eric Dozier. But I believe the official had whistled the play dead. Forward progress ended at the 48-yard line, gain of 1.
But Wayne, I like what we saw from Bowling Green. That time they held the running back up, and consciously they were trying to strip the ball out. That's coaching. That's something that you practice. Stripping the ball out, holding the ball carrier up.
Luke Swan at the top of your screen. And now the Badgers need a timeout, with 5:58 to go in this 2nd quarter. Each team scored on its opening possession. The Badgers took the lead on a special teams play. A block punt by Jonathan Casillas. He recovered in the end zone. And the Badgers have been sitting on that 7-point lead ever since.
Punters look rushed every time. I think mentally it can play with your psyche, Wayne, after you had your punt blocked.
Well, and again, you're talking about a true freshman punter here, Alonzo Rojas.
I like what Casillas did, though. He took the ball off the foot, and that's exactly what you're coached to do. You don't want to dive in. If he dives in there, he would not have returned it for a touchdown. He'd be laying on the ground. But because he ran in, he stayed on his feet, and he took the ball off the punter's foot, he was able to score and get to the house.
So the Badgers facing 2nd down and about 9. Looking to get something going here in the final 6 minutes of the 2nd quarter.
And I think the key matchup up front to go back to is going to be Devin Parks against Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas has been a little banged up, and Devin Parks is an ideal speed rusher.
Joe coming off that knee injury in the Capital One Bowl. Spent most of the offseason in rehabilitation. Stocko rolling out. Stops and lets it go. He's got Luke Swan inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. 1st down, Wisconsin Badgers on a 17-yard pass play.
You want to get an idea of how strong Stocko's arm is. Watch him throw this off his back foot, and he puts it on a rope. Nice ball. Good pass, but again, you're seeing the arm strength of John Stocko.
A look at the quarterbacks. Stocko getting it done through the air. Barnes on the ground. First down, 36-yard line at Bowling Green. Wisconsin looking to add to its lead. Hill. Breaking tackles down to the 30-yard line. Good tough run by P.J. Hill. Gain of 6. Kenny Lewis brought him down.
P.J. Hill is a big physical back, and he runs with a purpose. He's got a low center of gravity, and he keeps his legs moving. You really got to wrap him up and get your arms around his legs, or he will not go down. He's like a pinball.
He's been the most consistent runner in both the spring ball and the fall camp. 2nd and 4. Stocko again to Hill. Hill following his blocking. Has a first down and is counted out of bounds near the 21-yard line at Bowling Green. Inside, Hill showed some good patience, waited for his blocking to precipitate. P.J. Mahone in on the stop. Eric Dozier was also there. Look at Rentmeester, the fullback, number 34, getting out there in front of that play.
Yeah, that was a great cut block, showing his range there to get out and wall off the linebacker. Good play call, too, though. Run that to the boundary. They've been running to the field much of tonight.
3 receivers cluster at the top of your screen, 1 to the bottom. Xavier Harris at the bottom, and Stocko's looking that way. It was over the middle, and it's broken up and intercepted in the end zone. Intercepted in the end zone by Bowling Green's Kenny Lewis off a deflection, and the Falcons thwart the Badgers once again, and Bowling Green takes over at the Falcon 11-yard line.
Not sure what Stocko was seeing there. They pushed 2 verticals, but it's well covered. You'll see 2 guys there, a guy over top, and a guy underneath. This is the old tip drill. Watch, ball goes up in the air, locate it, get it, turn up the field. See, this is covered, and he's telegraphing his throw. All the safeties are doing are watching his eyes. Way to get to the football. Excellent swing of momentum for Bowling Green.
P.J. Mahone got a piece of that pass, knocked it away from Travis Beckham, who's the tight end they'll go to. He's the receiving tight end. And Lewis there for the interception. First down call. And again, Barnes hasn't had the best of field position to work with here, so they've been somewhat conservative in this second quarter offensively.
That's a great point, Wayne. They've been short-sighted, really don't want to take a chance on any errant throws, so they've been very conservative with the play call.
Again, Barnes, a redshirt freshman quarterback out of Homewood Flossmoor High School in the south suburbs of Chicago. 2nd down. Gain of 2 by Bullock on the previous play. Barnes fakes the handoff to Bullock, comes back the other way. Diving grab is made, and they're ruling incomplete. Odrabanak could not hang on. He trapped it. And a near miss for Coach Greg Brandon's ball club. That would have been a first down. Now it's 3rd down.
It's interesting, Wayne. We've seen more rollout throws by Barnes going to his left, which is typically a little harder for a right-handed quarterback.
So that's a good point. He must be comfortable doing it. Obviously, they wouldn't be calling that kind of play, but they're down conversions, just 1 for 5 for Bowling Green. 3rd and 8. And Barnes needs a timeout. Just under 3.5 minutes to go in this first half of play. Coming up at halftime, scores from around the country. Upcoming big games preview, as well as first half highlights and stats, all just ahead. Wisconsin leading it 14-7 over Bowling Green. The Falcons scored on their opening drive, an 80-yard, 10-play drive. Most impressive drive, and Freddie Barnes, the quarterback, scampered 21 yards to the end zone. The Wisconsin Badgers came back on a 10-play, 66-yard drive. Daiwan Rowan, a 7-yard touchdown run. And then Jonathan Casillas, number 2 in your picture right there, blocked a punt by Alonzo Rojas, recovered it in the end zone for the lead score. And there's the series history between these two. Not much of a series. This is just the 3rd meeting. But Wisconsin has won the first 2, and last year was a wild affair in Madison.
It was a shootout.
That was more wild than a Friday night on State Street at Halloween.
Coach Brandon's got to be happy, though, with what he's seeing from these guys. They're playing with intensity. They're flying around. On defense, they're getting to the ball. On offense, the quarterback, young quarterback Freddie Barnes, is making good decisions. He's happy with what he's seeing thus far.
Third down and 8 yards to go for Bowling Green. Winovich in motion. Barnes on a keeper. Barnes trying to break a tackle, gets out to the 20, but is a yard short of the first down. And again, good reaction from the Wisconsin defense. Matt Shaughnessy, the defensive end, got over to make the tackle, and it's 4th down for Bowling Green.
They got to punt this away.
Yeah, I would think so. They were hesitating there for a moment. They're down to 16 on the play clock now. They're not going to get everybody off in time, are they? Yep, apparently they do, just barely. Watch this spread formation. Look at this. Look at the lanes. And then you've got a trio of blockers in front of the punter. And they ran out of time on the play clock.
Remains 4th down.
So the penalty against Bowling Green backs it up. Coach Brandon has done this on a couple of punt situations where he's, I think, purposely held his punting unit on the sidelines to give the Badgers something to think about and then set them out on the field. So the freshman Rojas backed up deep once again. Meanwhile, Zach Hampton in single safety for Wisconsin. End over end line drive kick taken by the up back. Excellent field position coming up here. Forgot about field position, rolling to the end zone and out of bounds. Ben Strickland, the up back. Penalty markers all over the play. He's out of bounds at the 3-yard line. 39-yard return as a face mask on the tackle, it appeared. Ben Strickland. Penalty markers are down. There's the freshman punter, Alonzo Rojas. It has been a rude awakening to college football for him. Well, the initial indication from the officiating crew is that the penalty is against Wisconsin. Illegal block, and it might be right there. Yep. Number 2 through the illegal block, Jonathan Casillas. A block in the back. And 2 other flags came out later on, it looked like. I'm not sure if they've got 2 infractions here.
We have an illegal block in the back on number 2, Wisconsin. We have a personal foul, face mask, on number 14, Bowling Green. The face mask foul will be declined so that Wisconsin can keep the ball, but they will be penalized 10 yards from the spot of the illegal block, first down.
Take a look at it again. End over end kick.
That's a mouthful. We talked about the mental psyche of the punter after he's had a punt block. He doesn't seem to be comfortable back there, Wayne. He got that one off quickly. It was a little short, but great job of the up back.
Ooh, that's a major face mask.
All the way around.
So Steve Newman's been busy. Brett Bielema's Badgers have it, but instead of down to the 3-yard line, they've got it back at the 17 of Bowling Green. Wisconsin leading it by 7. Stocco. Nice protection. Very patient throw. Out of the backfield. Taiwan Rowan on the reception. And gain of about 9 yards inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Good job by Stocco of going through his reads. That time they had 2 wide receivers going vertically. Nothing was there, so he hit Taiwan on a crossing route. That was the last option. Good job of going through the progression, though. Shows you what a veteran quarterback, a wily veteran, will give you.
Second down. At the 9, Rowan cutting it back. Got a good block off the flank of that play, and he's got a first and goal inside the 5. Rentmeester again delivering a block. The fullback who is playing for the injured Chris Presley. Presley is out due to a lower leg injury suffered at training camp. And Rentmeester has looked good all the way through camp, and he threw the block that sprung that play for a first and goal.
Well, Rentmeester brought some syrup with him because that was a pancake block. The guy was flat in there, great kick out. He's a pretty powerful guy now. He's 6 foot 256, and he brings his body with him. Very powerful.
Red zone offense for Wisconsin. Take a look at it. And here's the quick handoff to Daiwan Rowan once again, penetrating inside the 4, down near the 2-yard line.
Wayne, there's nothing to confuse here about what the Badgers are doing. Power play. Look for Rentmeester because he's the lead blocker. He's going to tell you where the ball's going. They're going to run right up his butt.
The Badgers load up on the offensive line. Got a couple of tight ends in there. Second down goal to go at the 2.
He's going to take you to the ball.
Rowan around the end, following the Rentmeester once again. And he's just short. So it'll be third down coming up. Tom Bowling Green responding in the person of Nick Davis. And timeout taken as we're down to 20 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Vintage Wisconsin stretch play here. We'll see Rentmeester again, kick out block. He's going to tell you where the ball's going. Nice job of Daiwan Rowan to cut it up. But again, the key there is Bill Rentmeester. He's moving around a lot of bodies up front. That's what every great running back wants, is a powerful, stout fullback in front of him.
20 seconds to go in this first half, and a touchdown here would change the complexion of this game dramatically going into halftime.
Bowling Green has shown that they can tighten their screws when they get down to the goal line.
They've already denied Wisconsin a 4th and 1 earlier in the ball game in the first quarter. The big difference in this game is the blocked punt by Casillas, recovered by Casillas for a touchdown. Take a look at how much offense has been lost for both of these teams coming into this year.
Yeah, we know about Calhoun for Wisconsin, the All-American running back. Then you had Omar Jacobs for Bowling Green, the All-American quarterback.
And he left after his junior year. Was drafted in the 6th round by Pittsburgh, and today was one of the cuts at Pittsburgh.
Hindsight's 2020, but he's probably wishing he had another year. He'd be playing tonight.
He'd be playing. You bet. Here we go. Third down, less than a yard to go. Out of the eye. Hill is the tailback. Rentmeester, the hammer at fullback. Stocko on a keeper. Touchdown. Wisconsin extends the advantage to 20-7.
That time the offensive line by the Badgers, good surge up front, creating just enough of a lane for Stocko to get the ball across the plane.
Marcus Coleman, the center. Andy Kemp, the left guard, cleared the way. Taylor Melhoff will try to make it a 21-7 ball game with 17 seconds to go first half. And he's done it. So the Badgers, their second offensive touchdown drive of the game. A rather short one.
Well, it all starts up front with a line. Good surge. All you need is a little running lane, just a little peek. And that time Stocko found it. You know, when you average 320 pounds up front, you trust that your guys can get you a yard.
And again, this started with a shaky punt, a line drive end over end punt that was returned by Ben Strickland deep into Falcon territory. 17 yards on 5 plays for the Badgers to score. And now they've got a 2-touchdown advantage.
You see how critical special teams are in a game like this, Wayne. You have to go out and execute. That's the reason they practice special teams over and over during the course of the week. You cannot have breakdowns.
Bucky is going to be in shape by the time this season is over. You know, last year, Wisconsin, under Paul Chryst, the offensive coordinator, and led by John Stocco and Brian Calhoun, set school records for yardage and points in a season. I'm not sure they'll be that prolific this year. They're much younger than they were, much more inexperienced, especially at the skill positions, but nonetheless, they've got some offensive capability. When you have a veteran like Stocco, you can do some things.
I've always thought it's the players, not the plays, not the scheme, it's the guys on the field.
Kickoff as a penalty marker flies. Firing to the goal line and coming out of there and racing out of the end zone, out across the 10 to the 15-yard line, Terrell Lewis. Again, Lewis playing in place of the injured Antonio Smith. From what we understand, from what we could tell, Smith suffered either a leg injury, looked like specifically maybe to be an ankle injury. Offsides in the kick against Wisconsin. See if we can pick it up. Yep, there it is. Looks like the man closest to the ball on the near side of the picture. Lower portion of the screen. I mentioned Lewis playing in place of Antonio Smith, a major loss early in the ball game here.
Offside on the kicking team. Ball will be marked 5 yards ahead of the end of the run. First down, Bowling Green. We're winding on the ready.
Terrell Lewis playing in place of Antonio Smith, who went out with a leg injury. More specifically, looked to us like an ankle injury, perhaps. But he has not returned since early in the first quarter.
Again, Smith is the best cover corner for Bowling Green.
And they won't run another play. So Coach Greg Brandon and the Bowling Green Falcons fought hard in the first half, but a miscue on special teams cost them 1 touchdown. Another special teams miscue, a line drive punt return deep into Bowling Green territory, set up another score for Brett Bielema's Badgers, and Wisconsin leads it by 2 touchdowns as we reach halftime. Coach Brett Bielema joining us here. Coach Bielema, thank you for taking the time. Special teams, big key to that first half.
Yeah, I like the personality of those units. We talked about in early ball games that we got to go out and execute from a special team standpoint. A lot of times in these early games, people make big mistakes and cost them ball ways. We saw it on Thursday night in the Northwestern game, and it was a big momentum changer for us tonight.
Coach Bielema, it's Chris Martin here. Do you think the defense was at all surprised with the athleticism of Freddie Barnes moving around?
Freddie can move. We knew that coming in. He's basically their tailback back there at the quarterback position, but we got a few things altered at the line of scrimmage. I really like the way they've attacked in the second quarter and the personality of our teams coming out.
Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck in the second half. Coach Brett Bielema in his first game as a head coach, 36 years old. His Wisconsin Badgers have the lead in a hard-fought first half, 21-7 over Bowling Green. For Wisconsin and Bowling Green, the college football season begins at Cleveland Brown Stadium on the shores of Lake Erie in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. The Badgers at halftime hold a 21-7 lead over the Falcons of Bowling Green. Hi, everybody. Wayne Larrabee along with Chris Martin. Great to have you with us tonight. Interesting first half of play. Chris, as so often is the case early in seasons, turnovers and special teams play can make a difference.
Well, special teams was crucial. You saw the punt blocked by Casillas. Excellent job of taking the ball off the foot and picking it up in the end zone for a touchdown.
Bowling Green 80 yards on its first drive, just 51 yards on its subsequent 5 drives after that. So certainly the Badgers got a handle on that Bowling Green offense from a defensive standpoint. Well, let's go back to Thursday night, the open of the college football season in historic Oxford, Ohio, the cradle of coaches. It was a very emotional night at Miami of Ohio, where the late coach Randy Walker was inducted into the cradle of coaches. Players from both teams wore number 41 and walk on their helmets in honor of Coach Walker. Pat Fitzgerald and the Northwestern team walked out arm in arm to honor their fallen leader. After a slow start, Northwestern gained the upper hand with a block punt and a touchdown by Aaron Cobb. Northwestern went on to win 21-3, notching a victory for new coach Pat Fitzgerald in his first outing as a head coach. Other scores, take a look at them. Boston College was able to survive Central Michigan. Central Michigan Chippewas gave them a good game, and Central Michigan will be playing at Michigan next week. Today, Iowa wins big over Montana. Michigan over Vanderbilt. That was more of a struggle than that final score would indicate. Michigan State struggled today at home with Idaho, and Purdue came on big in the second half over Indiana State. Other scores, Ohio State was impressive. Indiana is leading Western Michigan. Penn State over Akron, and Illinois in the second quarter leading Eastern Illinois. Right here in Cleveland, Wisconsin leads Bowling Green 21-7. More of our halftime activities coming up after these messages. Of one half, Wisconsin has a 21-7 lead. Wayne Larrabee, along with Chris Martin, highlights in tonight's game. Well, it started out well for the Falcons. Freddie Barnes highlighted an 80-yard drive.
Freddie's showing his athleticism here on a draw play, able to find pay dirt, get Bowling Green off on a good start. And then Wisconsin comes back. Daiwan Rowan on a stretch play, running again behind that big left side. Joe Thomas, another stretch play here, same play. Daiwan Rowan gets to the end zone, following those big hogs up front. And then here's a punt block. Talk about special teams in a game like this. Casillas for Wisconsin, taking the ball up the foot, getting it in for a touchdown, and it's curtains. And then lastly, Stocko comes in on a QB sneak, push it in, good surge by the guys up front.
And it should be pointed out that sneak, special teams play led to it. 39-yard punt return for Wisconsin set up the Badgers at the 17-yard line. Ben Strickland on the return. Take a look at the yardage in the start. The average drive start is significant because the Falcons have played on a much longer field than the Badgers have in this first half of play, and as a result, Wisconsin has a 21-7 lead at halftime. Halftime in the season opener for Wisconsin and Bowling Green. Badgers leading at 21-7 as we get set for the third quarter. Coach Greg Brandon joins us, head coach at Bowling Green State University. And Coach, that first half, a lot of it swung on special teams plays.
Oh, absolutely. This is, in my opinion, it's a 7-7 ball game. We're just flat giving away with our punt team. We get one block for a touchdown, totally unacceptable. And then we do tried to punt to the wide field, which we did earlier, and we did a good job. And then the last one, kid made a nice play on it, and they got the ball in there. But our defense is scrapping and staying in it, and we got to control the ball a little bit better in the second half with our offense.
One last question. How concerned are you for the freshman punter?
Well, you know, he's going to be with us for a while, and he's getting his eyes open tonight, that's for sure.
Coach, thank you much. Good luck in the second half. Coach Greg Brandon, Bowling Green, first half leaders. And again, Barnes, a lot of that was done on the opening drive. The 12 rushing attempts, 71 yards for the half and a 21-yard touchdown run. And Antonio Smith, the quarterback, the lead defender in the secondary for Bowling Green, suffered an ankle injury early in the ball game. There he is right there. We were told he's not going to return. He is on the sidelines right now. It sure looks like he's ready to play. So who knows? But
staying into the game, Wayne.
We were told that he wasn't going to be coming out, that he wasn't going to be coming back into the game.
He still keep his mental in there. I'd like to see him, though. What he's doing is he's helping the young corner out on the sideline there. He can't play, but he's still involved in the game, coaching up the young guys.
That's Terrell Lewis he's talking with. Lewis replaced him in the quarterback spot in the first half. Lewis is a true freshman out of Redford, Michigan. John Stocko, his job is to manage the game, and they started with a steady diet of running plays. They used the big backs, of course, B.J. Hill, and then Daiwan Rowan. And then Stocko kind of gradually worked that passing game. And I imagine we're going to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
What I liked, Wayne, is he let the game come to him. You know, he didn't try and do too much too fast. He's playing with a swagger and a confidence. John Stocko knows what he can do. And so, you know, he stayed with the game plan. I like what he's doing. That's a sign of a proven quarterback and a wily veteran.
There's Freddie Barnes on the sidelines behind number 18 right there. Freddie played well at the outset of the ball game. Certainly has a great deal of elusiveness about him, and that certainly puzzled the Wisconsin defense for a series or two, but they did a good job of getting a handle on him and the Bowling Green offense. Kickoff to start the second half, hooks toward the near side, and this one caroms out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line, of the penalty markers come out.
Wayne, this will be a big stance here for Bowling Green.
It really will, Chris, but again, when you have two...
Out-of-bounds violation foul on the kicking team. Ball be placed at the 35, first and 10.
When you have two freshman kickers, and I'm sure Coach Brandon was braced for this, and you talked to him before the game, and he was wondering, what are these kids going to do? Not just the kickers, but all of the young kids that he has on his team. He's got so many underclassmen playing prominent roles here tonight. He was wondering, what kind of a game are we going to get? Well, the kicking game, you might be able to predict that. The kickers would be a little shaky in this first game. Wisconsin, here's the quarterback comparison, and Stocko doing a little bit more through the air. First down from the 35. P.J. Hill, not much there. Well, I tell you it again, Bowling Green swarming to the football. P.J. Mahone, the safety, came in to make the hit on that play, sifted through the blocking, and a loss of 1. Good to have you with us on this holiday weekend. Not only Labor Day weekend, but it's the open of the college football season, and that would make it a holiday regardless of what the government says. It is a Labor Day weekend. I hope you're having a good one, and please drive carefully. 2nd and 11. Stocko to the air. To the sidelines. Nice catch. Ushered out of bounds in Bowling Green territory. 48-yard line. Are they saying he was juggling it? Apparently they're saying incomplete. Paul Hubbard might have been juggling as he went out of bounds. Let's see if we can pick it up.
Wayne, this is the hardest throw for a quarterback to make, is that comeback route. That's a long throw to the wide field. Stocko, again, his arm strength has the capability of getting the ball there. Hubbard's got to bring that in, though. You know, he's 6'4" receiver. He's got to make that catch.
He was cradling it on the thigh pad there, and just they didn't give it to him. So now it's 3rd and 11. Hubbard at the top of your screen. They get motion. And Stocko. Plenty of time. Penalty marker is down. Pass is dropped incomplete. Dropped by Jeff Holzbauer. Number 85. Penalty marker down to the offensive backfield in the area of holding.
Number 72 on the offense.
You know, you spoke. Joe Thomas and Devin Parks, and it's been a good matchup tonight.
Yeah, this has been an awesome matchup. See it on the right side of the screen. Devin Parks is an edge rusher. Joe Thomas has his hands full tonight. Again, Thomas has been a little banged up. That may have, you know, impacted his mobility. He's not getting back into his stance on that pass rush. That's a key. We got to keep an eye on that matchup.
Pin the push and punt formation. Good leverage into this kick. Caught and drilled immediately. Zach Charles was stuck by Ben Strickland. 45-yard punt, 0 on the return. You not only could hear it up here, you could feel it. 3rd quarter coming back with Wisconsin on the lead. So far, in Ben Strickland, the junior out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. He has been at the forefront. 39-yard punt return to set up the second offensive score of the game for Wisconsin. And watch this hit here.
That's right, Wayne. And when you're not a starter, you have to contribute and play big on special teams. And Strickland, as you'll see this punishing hit here, is getting involved on special teams, making plays. He had the big return earlier on the punt and set up the last Badger touchdown.
Why would anyone want to return punts? You
have to be a little off.
Here comes Freddie Barnes. Out across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Joe Stelmacher made the stop. Here's what I'm talking about.
That's probably the reason you wouldn't want to return, Wayne.
Gain of 7 on that play, that first running play by Freddie Barnes. Wisconsin leading it 21-7. And coaches talk about it all the time. Early season especially, it seems like games turn on special teams plays and turnovers. Barnes off play action looking to throw. Well covered was Zach Charles by Alan Langford. So it's 3rd down. 3rd and 3 coming up for Bowling Green. But if you look at the first half offense, first drive 80 yards for Bowling Green. Their last 5 drives, they averaged just over 10 yards per drive.
Wisconsin, they've tightened up in the interior. Their defensive line play, linebackers playing a little closer to the line of scrimmage to cut off the running lanes for Freddie Barnes.
Falcons 1 for 6 on 3rd down conversion. Barnes wide of the mark. Intended for Ruben Ruiz. And it's 4th down for the Falcons. Wisconsin's defense has, as you could note from that stat we just showed you, has gotten better as this game has gone along.
I think they're playing with a lot more confidence. You know, they're flying to the ball. Every time they have a tackle, there's 3 and 4 white jerseys around. So they're swarming to the football and playing with a great deal of confidence.
Zach Hampton back deep. It's a fake. And here come the Falcons. They've got a 1st down, and they've got more. Pete Winovich, the up back, took the snap and motors for a 1st down on a 16-yard gain.
Wayne, that's just an excellent play call by Coach Brandon. You know, their punting team's been abysmal all night, so I'm sure he's thinking the coaching staff would never think they'd run a fake. Excellent play call.
Plus, Winovich, one of the most versatile players they have. Coach Brandon was talking about him the other day. He said he's the best football player we have. We've just been trying to find a place for him. He came to campus originally as a quarterback. He's played linebacker, he's played safety, he's played fullback. Pass for Barnes, knocked down and complete. I'm not sure, but it looked like Jason Chapman may have gotten a piece of it.
That's huge too, Wayne, because it gives your team a shot in the arm. You know, that's a major play at the right time. At the right time, again, the punting team had been abysmal. Nobody's thinking they're going to run a fake punt. Excellent play call, good execution by Bowling Green.
But to back it up now, you've got to move the chains here a little bit. 2nd and 10. It's incumbent upon the offense to at least possess the football for a while. Give that defense a break. And they come running out of the shotgun. That spread offense making a good, tough run. But again, the Badgers have been crowding the line of scrimmage now. And over to make the tackle, Matt Shaughnessy with Joe Stellmacher coming in from the secondary.
Wayne, you raise a great point. You see Stellmacher coming up, making plays close to the line of scrimmage. It shows you what Wisconsin's doing. They're walking down their safety, putting him in the box, giving you an extra run defender.
4 receivers set on 3rd down and 5. Parks in motion. Barnes on a roll. Barnes looking, drills his man. He's got it for a 1st down inside the 35-yard line. Outstanding pitch and catch. The reception made by Kenneth Brantley II. 15-yard gain.
Great play by Barnes. I like what he did here, Wayne. He let the route develop. He held it. He's waiting for the outcut. Sees his receiver sit down and delivers a fastball. Good job by a young quarterback letting the route develop.
So 1st down at the Badger 33-yard line. Barnes on a keeper. Zalewski, ever present, made the tackle near the line of scrimmage, gain of about 1. You know, Barnes, you mentioned it earlier in the first half, has a pretty good arm if you look at it. I mean, on these rollouts, these aren't the easiest throws for a quarterback. He's not planting and setting. And this kid's getting a lot of mustard in the ball off his back foot. Take a look at this. He's, you know, again, he's not their regular quarterback. Anthony Turner suspended for this week's game by the head coach, Greg Brandon. 2nd down and 9. Nice misdirection play here, but the Badgers who are ready for it, they stayed at home. And Macon is gunned down after a short gain. Kelly and Zalewski on the stop. Ike Iguanu was also in there. Gain of 2 more yards, and it's 3rd down.
It's a nice play call, though, Wayne. It gained 2 yards, but it was a nice wraparound misdirection. They made it look like rollout once again, knowing they've had success on the rollout play. Good changeup, good cat and mouse.
So another 3rd down situation for Bowling Green. 5 receivers set. They fake the wide receiver screen, and the quarterback takes it straight up the middle, and Freddie Barnes appears to have it up for the first down. Inside the 25-yard line on a gain of 7 or 8 yards. Brandon Kelly recovered.
Design draw. That time they went with 5 wide receivers. They spread out the linebackers, get them out of the box.
Chris, the pump fake. What kind of an impact does that have in the linebacking core and the secondary in that situation?
It's able to freeze up the linebackers and corners. They have to stay with their pass game first. Creates a running lane.
It is a first down inside the 25 of Wisconsin. Barnes again. And Barnes inside the 20. Matt Shaughnessy makes the tackle. Pick up on the play of about 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up.
Wayne, to go back to your point, anytime you get a spread offense, you talked about the pump fake by Barnes. Cornerbacks, defensive backs, they are pass defenders first before they can become run defenders, so they got to honor the pass threat first.
And we're getting some elements involved here from Mother Nature. Misty rain on the shores of Lake Erie at Cleveland Brown Stadium. 2nd down. Barnes once again trying to escape, and does. Got a first down. Barnes inside the 15 and denied the 10-yard line, but it's 1st and 10 upcoming for Bowling Green. It looked like he slipped from the tackle attempt of Zalewski in the middle of the line. And as the moisture picks up, Freddie Barnes gets even more slippery.
Well, young Freddie Barnes is earning his stripes here. Again, this is a called design draw play. Barnes here, you see it's getting a little wet out there, so you got to wrap up. I mean, what they teach on defense is to grab cloth, hold on to the jersey, and wait for your help to come.
First down to the 12-yard line of Wisconsin. Winovich in motion. Barnes, quick out. Charles on the reception, stacked up inside the 10 near the 7-yard line. Again, they're getting good production here as this drive ensues on first down.
Talking to the coaches for Bowling Green, they're really high on Zach Charles. They think he's an electric player. He has the ability to get down the field.
Remember, this drive was prolonged by a fake field goal and subsequent first down run by Pete Winovich. 14th play of the drive. Winovich again in motion. 2nd down. Barnes on a keep. Barnes unable to get by Casillas this time. And Jonathan Casillas brings him down to the 6-yard line, a gain of a yard or 2. Another 3rd down play upcoming for the Falcons.
That time Casillas just tightened up his stance. Good open field tackle on Barnes. Barnes has escapability. That's a one-on-one play. Probably the hardest tackle to make when you get someone like Barnes in the open field.
First down marker is at the 2-yard line of Wisconsin. It is 3rd down and 4. Barnes has come alive on this drive. 4 receivers set. Winovich, the man in motion. Barnes fakes a run, looks to throw. Now he's going to run, cuts it back. Does he have enough for the first down? He fights for the 2, and it looks like he does have enough for the first down. Running quarterbacks, athletic, mobile quarterbacks have been the Achilles heel of the Wisconsin defense.
Well, you just can't coach against it, Wayne. You know, you work all week on trying to contain. Athleticism takes over, and give credit to Freddie Barnes. He's taking a lot of shots, but he's playing with courage.
That young man's going to feel it tomorrow, isn't he? Steve Newman, the referee, is called for the change. And it would be an interesting call here, I would imagine, for Coach Brandon if they are short of the first down. They've got it.
Wayne, I think as they build momentum, I was going to say either way, he's going to go for it.
I thought so too. I figured he'd go for it even on 4th down. Why not? Given the game situation, Wisconsin leading by 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. To the football to the 2-yard line. First down and goal to go for Bowling Green.
It's a quarterback draw. Once again, spread you out.
Starting at the 21-yard line, prolonged by a successful fake punt. And now they're at the doorstep. Barnes trying to slip through a sliver of an opening, and he does for the touchdown. Freddie Barnes didn't have much of an opening that time, but was able to find the end zone, and Bowling Green is right back in it.
The irony is everyone in the stadium knew they were going to run a quarterback draw. They still ran it.
And now Freddie's going to hold for the point after by Sean Ellis, another true freshman out of Merritt Island, Florida. And he's got it successfully through the uprights. So Freddie Barnes, who started the ball game in electric fashion, returns to the fore here in the third quarter. It was the Freddie Barnes show on this drive from the 21 of Bowling Green to the Wisconsin doorstep.
This season, catch all of the premier regional college football matchups only from ESPN+. Check the local listings for each Saturday's game and time in your area. ESPN Plus is the best source to follow your hometown team.
Martin, welcome back to Cleveland Brown Stadium. Wisconsin travels very well, and they've got a lot of Badger fans here in Cleveland. The scoring drive for the Badgers, 75 yards and 9 plays, answers the scoring drive by Bowling Green that got the Falcons back into the game. And so Wisconsin reestablishes control of the line of scrimmage, would you say?
Well, they methodically worked the ball down the field, but they were giving different looks. They were running powers, spreading the ball out, some dink and dunk passes. Again, the offensive line for Wisconsin establishing a strong position up front.
Taylor Melhoff kicking off for the Badgers. Missed falling here in the stadium much of this second half. Melhoff's kickoff. And a short this time, taken by Macon at the 10. To the 15-20, Macon barrels his way out to the 21-yard line. Bowling Green, on its last drive, went for it on fourth down on a punt formation. They snapped it to the up back, and motoring for the first down was Pete Winovich. That prolonged the drive, and then Freddie Barnes capitalized on one third down play after another. This one down to the 2-yard line, and then Barnes capped it with this 2-yard run, just barely inching the football over the goal line for the score. Macon on a hard run off the right side of the offensive line out to about the 24-yard line at a gain of about 4 yards. The quarterback, Freddie Barnes, in his first start, a redshirt freshman out of Chicago Heights with 109 yards rushing so far. The first quarterback for Bowling Green to eclipse the century mark rushing since October of 2002 when Josh Harris rushed for 138 yards against Central Michigan. Second down. Little swing pass to Macon. Good protection on the blocking. Nicely executed screen pass for a first down to the 34-yard line. 9-yard gain. You mentioned quarterbacks. Josh Harris, All-America at Bowling Green 2003. And then that was followed by Omar Jacobs, at All-America candidate Bowling Green last year. Jacobs left after his junior year, was drafted in the 6th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and was cut today. And Freddie Barnes, you know, Anthony Turner was scheduled to start. I wonder. Swing pass off the hands of Macon, incomplete. He took a hit out of bounds.
I mean, I like what Bowling Green's doing, though. They're giving the young quarterback Barnes a breather, saving him from taking some shots, spreading the ball out to Dan Macon. Macon is the fastest guy on the Bowling Green roster, so they're trying to put the ball in his hands and see if he can make something happen.
Macon played behind B.J. Pope and B.J. Lane last year. Was redshirted last year. Played 6 games in 2004. Second down. They get motion from Marcus Parks. Barnes, leaping grab made up near the 40-yard line. Boy, tough catch by Ruben Ruiz, and he sure did take a shot from Jonathan Casillas.
like to see your receivers go up and attack the ball like a rebound. That time Ruiz went up and got the ball at its highest point. He knows he's going to take a hit. I like it. He catches the ball with his hands. He attacks it like a rebound. That's what you teach. Go get the football at its highest point.
3 receivers at the top of your screen, 1 at the bottom. There's the third down story. Barnes on a keeper. And he fades away to get that first down. I mean, threading the needle left and right through a bevy of Wisconsin defenders for an 8-yard gain and a first down out near the 48-yard line of Bowling Green.
Wayne, the Bowling Green coaches know the speed of the Wisconsin linebackers. So how do you get them out of the box? You spread them out, make them go outside, and create running lanes for Freddie Barnes.
That's why you've got these 4 receiver sets you're seeing out here tonight.
Exactly.
Time winding down to the third quarter. Barnes on the reverse. Here comes Dan Macon cutting it back. Penalty marker down, I believe, for an illegal block. I think they're going to get Drew Nystrom for a takedown. Macon got about 3 yards into Wisconsin territory to the Badger 49. Steve Newman.
Illegal block in the back. Number 71 on the offense. 10 yards from the previous spot, remains first down.
That was the case. Drew Nystrom. Let's see if we can pick it up on the left side of the line. Penalties have hurt Coach Brendan's Falcons tonight.
See it here on the left side. Wayne, what coaches teach you is if you can see the name on the back of the jersey, do not block. And that time, clearly a block in the back by Nystrom.
So they back it up to the 38-yard line where it'll be first down and long coming up for the Falcons when we head to the fourth quarter. Wisconsin 28, Bowling Green 14. The skyline of Cleveland, Ohio glistens on this early September evening, the opening weekend of college football. The clash in Cleveland, the Big Ten, Wisconsin, and the MAC Conference, Bowling Green. There's a look at it by quarter. Wisconsin dominating that second quarter. Bowling Green jumped back into the ball game in the third. And now it's first down and long as we start the fourth quarter with Wisconsin on top by 2 touchdowns. Barnes fakes the toss on the option. Barnes still on his feet. Fumbles the football, and it's gathered in by the Badgers. Stellmacher makes the recovery, and it's Wisconsin football. A 19-yard run by Barnes. He lost the handle. The ball stayed in play, and Joe Stellmacher makes the recovery.
And a few mistakes the young freshman quarterback Barnes has made tonight. We know we've gotten a little bit of rain, so the ball may be a little slippery. You have to tuck it away, protect it. Good job of coming in and getting an arm in there, too, by Stellmacher. Yeah, Stellmacher makes that play, comes in, strips the ball out, and recovers it. It's an excellent play.
So it'll be first down for Wisconsin. I wonder if they're going to challenge this, Chris, because on the replay, was Stellmacher in play, or was his arm on the line as he batted that ball back in? And I think that's what Coach Brandon is asking about right now. You remember, each coach gets one challenge. And I'll tell you, watch it right here. Now let's see. Stellmacher over the top.
It's under review.
No, it looks clean to me.
Arm out of bounds on the swipe at the end.
I think he kept the ball in play. Did the ball break the plane? That's all that has to happen there. Remember, in college football, it's a matter of where's the ball. And it looked like the ball might have been out of bounds in that case.
It's a good look by the camera guys, though.
Excellent look by the crew. We've had a couple of good looks on this. The ball, is it out of play? Well, if you rule that the ball is on the line or over the line, even if it's in the air, if it breaks the plane, as I understand the rules, Chris, it would be out of bounds, which means that it would go back to the Falcons. But here it is. Again, we mentioned it. One coach's challenge per team, per game. team must have and call a timeout to inform the referee of the challenge. Now, if the call is reversed, the timeout is preserved, but the challenge is lost, of course, and they will not be able to challenge any more plays from the sidelines. And again, Steve Newman. Indisputable video evidence is what you need here. Is that indisputable? And we haven't seen this look yet.
Looks like the ball breaks the plane right there. It's close.
It's very close. It is very close.
Wayne, either way, I like the challenge by Coach Brandon, though, because he knows that this could swing the momentum. Wisconsin gets the ball.
Absolutely. There's no question. If you're looking at it from his standpoint, you've got to challenge the call. And Brett Bielema knows that as well. And again, Steve Newman, his people, the replay officials upstairs, have looked at all the different angles that we've been able to show them. And again, the crew, great job of getting some of the different angles on this play. The ball comes loose. No question about the fumble. Is the ball at or over the line when Stellmacher reaches out and gathers it back in? That's the question.
The young quarterback, he still has to know he's in traffic, so he has to tuck the ball away with both arms. Again, Stellmacher making a nice swipe on it.
Stellmacher's arm was over the line, but was the ball? That's the question. And I don't know if they've got indisputable video evidence. That's the key.
They're trying to get it right.
Absolutely. Again, you mentioned it. The game could swing on that play right there. I believe if it goes back to the Falcons, they are, I think, just short of the first down, if I remember correctly, where the first down marker was. And the mist continues to thicken here on the lakefront in Cleveland. It's been steady throughout the second half, and you're right, Chris. You know, it's getting harder to tackle Barnes. It's getting harder to hold on to the ball as well.
Both teams liking to run the ball. They really have to protect it. Both arms over the football, especially when you're getting into traffic.
All right, Chris, what do you think? Out or in?
I'm going to say it's out.
I'm going to say the same. I'll say it's out. Let's see what it is. Well, the ball is out there, but is it out of play? Boy, it's right there on the line, isn't it?
I'm going to go with
very
out.
Close. It has been a fairly long challenge. And now I think we're going to have a verdict rendered to Steve Newman. He's heard from his people upstairs.
After review, there is indisputable video evidence that the player who gathered the ball was out of bounds. Therefore, it will be Bowling Green's ball, 2nd and 1 at the 42-yard line. 2nd down.
Interesting twist on it. This meaning that you can't reach out of bounds and bat it back in either. If the ball is over the line, it broke the plane, it's out of bounds. But there he is, Joe Stellmacher. He made the big hit, tied loose, and nearly had the fumble recovery. So Bowling Green retains possession. And it is 2nd and short off a 19-yard gain on that play. 2nd down and about a yard to go. Football just outside the 42-yard line of Wisconsin. Badgers are leading it 28-14. Opening minute, 4th quarter. Winovich in motion. Barnes hesitated for a moment. Has the first down and more. Inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Roderick Rogers, Joe Stellmacher collaborate on the tackle. 1st and 10.
Time Bowling Green went with trips left. They motioned Winovich and brought him back to the left side to be the lead blocker. Once again, great execution by Bowling Green.
Winovich comes to the wing on the near side, bottom of your screen. 3 wide receiver set, Winovich the man in motion. Snap to Barnes. Over the middle, well covered was the tight end, Sean Odramanak, but he hangs on as Mark Zalewski brings him down inside the 30 at the Wisconsin 28-yard line. Second down upcoming off a gain of 6.
Wayne, this is what a big body tight end like Odrabanak gives you, because really this is just a box out. Zalewski's there, but that big wide target keeps him out. Good job, Odrabanak, using his body to box out Zalewski.
He's 6'4", 262. Out of Crown Point, Indiana. 5 receivers set. Barnes going wide. Makes the turn inside the 25, and Barnes down near the 21-yard line, and a late flag as Barnes gets the first down. Casillas on the stop for Wisconsin. Going to mark it to the 21.
And that was a personal foul on Nystrom with a late hit.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit, number 71 on the offense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, and the down advances to 3rd.
And he's not mad at the official's call. He's mad at Nystrom.
Well, this is a bonehead play.
Yep.
Because clearly it's a late hit.
This is one of those hits where the offensive lineman goes in to kind of clean up the pile, make a final hit after the play is basically over. Let's see if we pick it up. I don't see anything there. Maybe a little bit wider angle here. We'll be able to pick it up and show you what we're talking about.
The guy go flying at the end.
Just at the top of your screen, we just couldn't quite see it. It was that far away from the play, which means even more of a bonehead play, right?
And look at the field position now. Costly for Bowling Green.
Barnes, 152 yards rushing on 40, 24 running attempts. Barnes fakes to make it. Barnes on his own. Barnes hit and dragged down out of bounds. Great play made by Casillas. What a job Jonathan Casillas has done, both defensively and on special teams. Remember, he blocked the punt and recovered it in the end zone of the second quarter to give Wisconsin the lead. Go back and play. Here's a personal foul. Watch it at the bottom of your screen, I believe, right there. Number 71 comes in and hits Stellmacher late. And now, one play later, Nystrom is down on the field. Nystrom is down to the field. And the training staff out to attend. Coach Brandon, boy, the gamut of emotion from play to play, right? A moment ago, you saw him just screaming at Drew Nystrom, and rightfully so, for a boneheaded play that cost major field position for Bowling Green. And then on the next play, the kid is down, and obviously it tugs your heart out. Top of your screen. Upper left-hand corner. Watch how he goes down here. Slips awkwardly. Ooh.
Looks like his ankle.
Yep. And Nystrom heads off. He's got 2 knee braces on those legs. A lot of offensive linemen, especially in the college level, wear knee braces, whether they've got knee problems or not. It's a preventative type of thing, and probably a good thing indeed. But Nystrom is out at least for now. Out of Crystal Lake, Illinois. So second down and 12 on the loss of 2. This is the 11th play of this drive. We are 4th quarter. Just under 13 minutes to go. Winovich in motion. Barnes looking to run. Waits for his blocking, tries to cut it back, but the Badgers are swarming to the football. And over to make the tackle, leading the way, Jamal Cooper, among others. A gain of a yard for Barnes, and it's 3rd and 11.
Bowling Green that time again went back to the well with trips left. They motioned Winovich and let him come back to the left side to be the lead blocker. They ran that play earlier in this drive.
I wonder when they're going to hand the ball off to Winovich and let him throw it. High school quarterback. 3rd and 11. Motion from Parks. Barnes to the air. Keeps the play alive. Has a man. Ruiz. And he stepped out of bounds, apparently at the 25-yard line. 12-yard gain and a first down. Langford, the man, he turned around. The knee touchdown. beg your pardon, I thought he might have stepped out there, but Langford made contact, the knee went down, and the play was over. But a first down. Good throw by Barnes to an open receiver. Ruben Ruiz. The fake to make it. Barnes coming around the end. Barnes running like a fullback there, trying to deliver a blow inside the 25 to the 23-yard line at a gain of a couple of yards. Jamal Cooper in on that tackle. Zalewski, Langford were there.
Barnes doesn't know the meaning of slide.
You know, there's not much. They know more often than not it's going to be Barnes coming at them. There's not a whole lot of chicanery going on here, and it's Barnes creating. You know what I mean? You don't draw this stuff up on the blackboard. Here's a look at this drive. My goodness, marathon drive. Barnes coming back for it, making the catch. Ruiz gobbled up quickly again. Jonathan Casillas out in the secondary, making that tackle. Also in on the play was Jack Ikekwanu, the all Big Ten cornerback. But Casillas has been busy tonight. Third down for Bowling Green. Football to the 21-yard line of Wisconsin. 3rd and 6. The option, Macon not going to get it. Well played by the Badgers. Outstanding pursuit by Roderick Rogers, the safety. And at this stage of the game, as you take a look, just over 10 minutes to go, I would think they're going to go for it here. They've got 4th down and 5, gain of a yard in that play. Coach Brandon wants a timeout. They're going to talk it over. Down 28-14, facing 4th down and 5 at the Badger 20-yard line. Do you go for it or not?
There's still a lot of time left, Wayne. Bowling Green still has 2 timeouts as well.
You got a wet field and a freshman kicker. You're going to be asking him to make about a 38-yard field goal here if you don't go for it. Well, you may recognize these colors for Bowling Green. I mean, Paul Brown, the Cleveland Browns head coach back in the 40s through the early 60s. He is the guy who basically came up with a color scheme for the Cleveland Browns and really the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, what he did was he visited Bowling Green back in the 1940s, saw the Falcons play. The Browns trained at Bowling Green State University from 1946 through 1951. Paul Brown liked the colors and decided to put the scheme together, and lo and behold, the Cleveland Browns made these colors famous, and of course Bowling Green was the originator. That was where it all began for Paul Brown and the Cleveland Browns. So 4th down, decision time here for the Falcons. What do you do in this situation, Chris? You got the game hanging in the balance, down by 2 touchdowns. Does a field goal do you much good at this stage of the game?
I would go back to your point earlier with a young kicker on less than favorable conditions. I think you have to go for it here. 37-yard kick, but still the surfaces are again less than favorable. I think you got to try and punch it across the chains.
4th down, it's a long 5 yards to go. The Wisconsin defense has been pursuing Freddie Barnes all night. Do you call that number one more time?
How could you not? You know, he's done so much tonight. Got to keep the ball in his hands. We've seen just about every type of draw in their playbook.
Yeah. And some that aren't in the playbook, some that are merely a figment of Freddie Barnes' imagination. He has been special to watch here tonight. This is his first college game. Earned the job in camp with a strong performance. The last 2 drives, both long drives by Bowling Green. And a lot of it kept alive by that young man, Freddie Barnes, and his feet. 4th down, they're going for it. 4th and 5, ball game hanging in the balance. From the Wisconsin 20, here comes Barnes, looking to throw. Got a man, could not hang on. Incomplete. Kenneth Brantley II, the intended receiver, would have been a first down, but he was unable to hang on. And the coverage provided by Roderick Rogers. So Wisconsin takes over on downs when we come back to Cleveland. Wisconsin leading 28-14. Couple of fourth down plays have made a difference in this ball game. Go back to the second quarter on fourth down for Bowling Green. Punt formation time. There's the freshman punter in the end zone, and it's blocked by Casillas. He recovers for the touchdown. That gave Wisconsin the lead 14-7. And then right here, moments ago on fourth down and 5, they had everything going their way. The pass off the hands of Kenneth Brantley II, incomplete, and Wisconsin takes over on downs, leading by 14. First and 10 at the Badger 20 for Stocco and Company. P.J. Hill. One would get the feeling now that the Badgers will just grind it out on the ground. Gain of 8 yards there. A nice start to this drive.
And you wonder how it affect the defense of Bowling Green mentally. Again, going back to that last play, they got everything that they wanted. The outcut was there. That's how they designed it. When your number's called, you have to make the play.
Second down and short, nearing 9 minutes to go in the game. 2nd and 2 for Wisconsin. P.J. Hill, the lone setback. Hill once again. First down and more. Dragging people down. This is the kind of back that can wear you down at this stage of the game. 5'11" and 245 pounds. P.J. Hill out of East Elmhurst, New York. About the loss of Brian Calhoun last year to this year. Yards per game, 8th in the Big Ten. And rushing offense tonight, they're right there. 163 rushing yards. They'll probably pass that average per game of last season. First down at the 39-yard line of the Badgers. This is the freshman, Lance Smith. Bielema says he has the ability to move a lot of different directions in a small amount of space. He's the difference maker they talk about. Lance Smith just kind of getting his feet wet. True freshman out of Warren, Ohio. So I'm sure he has some special feeling for playing in this football game here tonight. There's a reason they're playing this game here. Bowling Green needs a big gate. They've got a pretty good sized gate, 30,307. Their attendance last year slipped below the 15,000 mark, which is, again, that's the standard for NCAA Division 1A. You have to average 15,000 a game. This game will help them get that average this year. Travis Beckham has had a nice night out of the tight end spot, and he motors for a first down off a nice throw by John Stocco, 16 yards. Eric Dozier takes him out of bounds inside Falcon territory, the 42. 3 catches, 51 yards for Travis Beckham.
Second down play that time. Sure, Bowling Green's defense were anticipating a run play. You got the drag by the tight end Beckham all the way across the field. Nice play call by the Badgers.
First down to the 42-yard line in Bowling Green territory for Wisconsin. Lance Smith, the lone setback. Here comes Smith. It's a block from Crooks, the tight end, off the wing. Smith inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. To elaborate on my point about the attendance factor, one of the reasons why this game is here in Cleveland, NCAA bylaws state Division 1A schools must average 15,000 per fans in actual or paid attendance once every 2 years on a rolling basis. And Bowling Green last year averaged 14,929 fans in Perry Stadium. 71 fans per game, shy of the NCAA requirement of 15,000 per game. So this game here tonight helps get them. It's a home game for them, basically. It helps get their average up, and it goes a long way to satisfying that requirement. Second down for Wisconsin. On the move now, the Bowling Green 37. Smith breaking tackles, keeps those feet driving. Got a first down to the 30-yard line. Nick Davis made the stop. Although the Bowling Green offense has had a couple of 21-play drives in the second half. You get the feeling that if the defense for Bowling Green is not tired, they're somewhat dispirited at this stage of the game.
Exactly, the mental aspect. You know, when you make a long drive and you don't convert, you know, like on the last drive, and you don't catch it on fourth down, mentally as a player, it's draining to you. Defense is going back out, but they still got to take a stand, Wayne.
Yep. That's not an excuse. It's just an occurrence that happens. P.J. Hill back in there, and this time going nowhere. And there's the stand you're looking for. Made by the defense up front, Nick Davis, Devin Parks, Brad Williams on that defensive line, working hard here tonight against a big Wisconsin offensive line. Joe Thomas, the All-American left tackle, Andy Kemp, the left guard, Marcus Coleman, the center, Craig Urbeck, the right guard, Eric Vanden Heuvel, the right tackle for Wisconsin. Brett Bielema has said that offensive line is becoming more of a strength now for this program. Second down, loss of a yard or two there. 2nd and 11. Stocco. Good protection. Got a man open underneath the coverage. P.J. Hill running downhill. Broke the tackle attempt of Kenny Lewis. Rambles 22 yards to the 10-yard line, and it's 1st and goal, Wisconsin.
P.J. Hill showing that he's a two-way threat, catching the ball out the backfield as well as running downhill. This is a little dig route, but it takes time to develop. Excellent job of tucking it in. What I like most about P.J. Hill is he runs through contact. Watch how he finishes this run, and he keeps his legs going. It's a good-looking young back.
They've got some backs here, don't they? Yeah, Calhoun's gone, but they've still got some talent at running back to this program. Stocco on a bit of a delay. Hill blasting up the middle. Driving to the goal line for the touchdown. 10-yard touchdown run. The power of P.J. Hill.
Wayne, he put the defenders on roller skates that time, showing his power, but it starts up front. Again, the line for the Badgers doing an excellent job. Look at that hole. Watch the power of P.J. Hill taking the defenders from Bowling Green for a ride.
You said it best. Look how he runs after contact, after first contact. That kid doesn't go down on first contact. Outstanding young talent, power runner, and I think you're going to see as the season ensues, this Lance Smith will be he'll be the home run hitter. But power, pure power, P.J. Hill, and Wisconsin's broken it open, 35-14. There's Barry Alvarez in his prime, stalking the sidelines from 1990 to 2005. Took a moribund program to 3 Rose Bowl championships and national prominence. And his successor, hand-picked successor, Brett Bielema, 36 years old, out of Prophetstown, Illinois, trying to win his first game as a head coach on the Division I level. As a head coach anywhere. And you know, when you look at him, what a background of coaches. Played for Hayden Fry, coached under Bill Snyder, coached under Barry Alvarez. Well prepared for this job.
We talked to him about that, and he said he'll pull qualities from each of the coaches that you just mentioned.
Corner. The freshman short of the 20-yard line. First down for Bowling Green. Bowling Green returns home to Perry Stadium next week for a game against Buffalo, 3 o'clock start Eastern time. And Wisconsin will be home next week as well. Coach Brandon, his team played hard here tonight, just at times could not quite execute. Especially on that 4th down play earlier in the 4th quarter, where they had a chance to jump back into the game. Bit of an opening there for a couple of yards. Not across the 20-yard line. Boy, his uniform is dirty, isn't it?
Yeah, that defines his night. He's been the workhorse back for Wisconsin. He's gone for $130 tonight, Wayne.
Not a bad debut, huh? Anthony Davis had 147 in his first start. That was the year he was freshman of the year. P.J. Hill, I beg your pardon, is a redshirt freshman for the Badgers. 2nd down and 8. Barnes fakes the handoff and gets what he can out near the 26-yard line. Or it'll be a 3rd down coming up. Justin Ostrowski made the stop. Coming up on 4 minutes left to go in this one. And it appears that it will be a successful debut in the head coaching tenure of Brett Bielema and Wisconsin. 3rd down. Barnes going nowhere this time. Casillas from behind. Jonathan Casillas, who's played a whale of a ball game, as we've been mentioning.
Anytime you see an undersized linebacker who's about 214 pounds, you know automatically that he can run and get to the ball and cover ground, and that's exactly what Casillas has done tonight. He's gone sideline to sideline, making plays all over the field.
And made perhaps the biggest play on special teams when he blocked the punt by the freshman Alonzo Rojas and recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown in the 2nd quarter that gave Wisconsin the lead. Rojas again in punt formation. It's off a line drive kick once again. Looking to play on it, Zach Hampton. And Hampton gets out across the 40 to the 43-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go in this one. Wisconsin in the opener, leading Bowling Green 35-14. He's even got a Hawkeye tattoo, I believe, on his lower left leg, if I'm not mistaken. People were saying that once he became a head coach at Wisconsin, he was like, well, you're going to have that taken off, aren't you? I said, no, this is part of where I'm from, you know. That was a good response. That's a good way to look at it, yeah.
Said he's proud of where he's from.
Proud of where he's from, happy with where he's at.
Exactly.
And very happy tonight, or he will be soon. Wisconsin trying to salt away the final 2 minutes and 50 seconds, and they'll take their time in doing it. The freshman Lance Smith is the tailback. And the new quarterback, Tyler Donovan. Donovan took a lot of snaps in the last 2 weeks while Stocco was out with that knee injury. Hands it off to the running back, Lance Smith, who's getting a lather here tonight. Gain of about 6 yards on that play. Tyler Donovan, and you know, Coach Bielema mentioned to us that he's taken advantage of the extra reps he got in practice with Stocco out. Athletic quarterback. Not really big. He's 6'1" and 193. He's out of Heartland, Wisconsin. Arrowhead High School, an excellent high school football program at Arrowhead, Milwaukee area high school.
I like what Bielema's doing, letting Donovan come in here and get some reps. Let him get in there and play under the lights.
Sure. 2nd down at about 4. As we are inside of 2 minutes to go in this one. Smith. The bounce. Again, spinning for the 1st down, or close to it, to the 47, make it the 46-yard line of Bowling Green, 1st and 10.
Wayne, we just saw a little flash of the ability of Smith, a nice jump cut to get to the sideline. You know, something like that you just can't teach. You can't teach that.
Offensive coordinator of the Wisconsin Badgers is Paul Christ. His brother is the commissioner of the MAC. His other brother's an assistant coach down at Carolina with the Panthers. We have football running all through that family. And the dad was a wonderful college football coach at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville for many years. The late dad.
Coaching is in their DNA.
It sure is. And they are great people and great coaches, I want to tell you. Time winding down to this one, under a minute to go. So the Badgers will go to 1-0. They return to take on Western Illinois on ESPNU, 2:30 Central Time next Saturday.
I like Coach Bielema. He's a young, fiery coach. And you know, the players feel that. You know, teams are chameleonic. They feel like their coach feels. So if he's going to be out there with high energy, they're going to play with high energy.
2nd and 11. Could be the final play. Donovan, Smith trying to get to the outside. Penalty marker down. Lee for the tackle attempt that time. Adrian Baker apparently got him too high, maybe got the face mask. So that will not be the last play of this game.
Thank you. Personal foul, face mask. Penalty is declined. Third down.
Classic face mask. See, if you grab the face mask and you don't let go right away, they're going to call it. They'll call it anyway. And there it is. First game for the Badgers with a head coach not named Alvarez since 1990. And it turns out to be a good one for Brett Bielema. His first win as a Wisconsin Badgers head coach. The Badgers win it here tonight over Bowling Green 35-14. Coach Brandon, his team played hard here tonight. Just didn't have quite enough against this Big Ten team. Bowling Green at times acquitted itself very well in this ball game here tonight. They lost their star cornerback, Antonio Smith, early to an ankle injury. He did not return. But boy, they may have found someone in Freddie Barnes. My goodness, he caused all kinds of fits for the Wisconsin Badgers here tonight. Well over 100 yards rushing for Freddie Barnes. Stay tuned, we'll be back. We've got more coming up from Cleveland Brown Stadium. Wisconsin wins it 35-14. Always travel well wherever they play, and they had a lot of people to the crowd of over 30,000 here tonight. And standing by with us is the head coach in his first game as a head coach, Brett Bielema. First off, Coach, I see the smile on your face. I understand that. What do you feel like?
Well, Wayne, it's been a long time coming. I knew that we prepared well, but you're always anxious to see that first game and see how they respond to different things. One thing I've always preached to our guys about is it's not what happens during the course of the game, it's how you respond to it. And the way they came out, marched the ball drive on that opening drive, and the way our kids came back, and then even in the second half here, in retrospect, it couldn't have worked out any better because same thing, offense came out, stalled a little bit, defense came and rose up, and now we're in a situation with a victory at the end.
Coach Bielema, it seemed as though your guys made plays when they had to, including on special teams. Was that something that you practiced, the punt block?
Well, Chris, we knew that they had done kind of an unusual formation, and that's what got us in trouble there on that one fake. They broke off that one side of the formation, but we knew the concept we wanted to get, and we know Jonathan Casillas is a player that can execute that block.
Let me talk about Casillas because he seemed to be all over the field, not just on special teams, but obviously in the defense as well, Coach.
Exactly right, Wayne. I think he has an opportunity to be a special player. He's very gifted athletically. He's very quick off the ball, and the more reps he gets, the more experience he gains. It's only going to get better.
Coach, talk about P.J. Hill. He ran for 130 yards. Granted, he had some great blocking up front, but he seemed like he got stronger as the game went along.
PJ is a player that last year coming into camp we had fully intended to use, but he broke his leg. Took that year to build his body up to survive a season, and I really like what he did today. Number one goal from the offensive side going into this game was ball security, and I like the way that everybody touched the ball, handled that thought.
Okay, now John Stocco, Coach, got the start here tonight. He had missed a significant portion of camp, 2 weeks with that knee surgery. How did he hold up? What did you think of his performance tonight?
It's the same deal there too, Wayne. We knew that he was probably going to be the starter coming in. I figured my first year in coaching, the media is going to play with me quite a bit. This is a chance for me to have some fun, and that we knew he was going to be the guy, but I really liked the fact that we got TD in there at the end, and also the fact that John persevered through the flow of the game really shows me that he's up to form.
Coach, there are a lot of athletic plays on the defensive side of the ball. Your linebackers seem to flow to the ball well. Talk